I want you to think about the last time you felt genuinely uncomfortable in a public space. Maybe you didn't know where to stand, didn't know how to pay, didn't know if you were in someone's way. That friction is basically what Japan decided to eliminate at the design level. 13 everyday details, things you'd walk past without a second thought, are actually doing the heavy lifting of keeping shared spaces calm, clean, and readable for everyone in them. By the end of this video, you're going to see ordinary objects in a completely different way. Number 1, heated toilet seats with bidet functions. Start with a standard public restroom anywhere outside Japan, and it does one thing. It removes waste. That's it. Japan looked at the same room and asked what else was going wrong in there. The answer was a lot. Cold seat in winter, hygiene that depends entirely on each individual user making the right choices, no way to enforce any of it. So they built the solution into the hardware. Heated seat, bidet function, adjustable pressure and temperature, separate wash modes. You sit down and the correct behavior just happens. The bidet function is the part that actually changes the hygiene equation in a shared space because it doesn't rely on anyone doing anything right. Number 2, tactile paving on sidewalks and train platforms. Those yellow textured strips on the ground at Japanese train platforms and crosswalks carry a complete navigation system encoded into 2 shapes. Raised dots mean stop or pay attention. Raised bars mean follow this path. If you're blind or visually impaired, your foot reads that information directly off the ground. No signs, no asking anyone. The system started in the 1960s after a blind man was killed near a train station, and it took years to get a single city to adopt it before it eventually spread nationwide. What's interesting is that sighted commuters follow the same paths too, unconsciously, because the strips run along the most logical route through a station anyway. Number 3, coin trays at checkout counters. At almost every checkout counter in Japan, there's a small tray sitting near the register. You put your cash or card in the tray, the cashier takes it from the tray, and your change comes back the same way. Nobody hands anything directly to anyone. Once you notice that, you start to see how much friction exists in the alternative. The fumbling, the accidental hand touching, that awkward half-second where you're not sure if the other person has a grip on the bill before you let go. The tray turns that 2-person coordination problem into 2 separate actions. The cashier counts the change carefully, sets it down, and you pick it up when you're ready. Number 4, umbrella stands outside shops and offices. Tokyo gets more annual rainfall than London, and Japan has a full rainy season that runs for weeks. So the country has had a long time to think about what a wet umbrella does to a building's floor. Most countries just accept the dripping. Japan put umbrella stands at the entrance of nearly every shop and office, and in many cases, those stands have plastic bag dispensers right next to them. You grab a bag, slide your umbrella in, and carry it with you. The whole thing takes about 4 seconds and requires nothing from any staff member. In a busy building during a rainstorm, that's the difference between a dry floor and a slippery one. Number 5, oshibori, warm or cold hand towels, before meals. You sit down at a restaurant in Japan and within about 30 seconds, a small rolled towel lands in front of you. In winter, it's warm. In summer, it's cool. You wipe your hands and set it aside. That 10 seconds is doing something specific. You've been on a train, touching railings and phone screens and door handles, and before you touch your food, the restaurant gives you a clean start. It's a physical reset built into the arrival, not a sign asking you to wash your hands somewhere. The temperature adjustment is the part that shows real intentionality. The restaurant reads the season and responds to it before you've said a word. Number 6, train platform markings for orderly boarding. Japanese train platforms have thick yellow markers painted right into the floor showing exactly where each car door will stop, with 2 lines forming a queue on either side of that spot so people getting off the train have a clear path between them. Without those markers, boarding looks like what you see in most countries. People cluster roughly where they think the door will be. The door opens somewhere slightly different, everyone shuffles, and people getting off walk straight into people trying to get on. The markers only work because the trains stop at the exact same position every single time. Take away that precision and the floor markings tell you nothing. But before we move on, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed to the channel and liked the video. Number 7, plastic food displays outside restaurants. Outside almost every restaurant in Japan, there's a display case filled with plastic replicas of every dish on the menu, made to match the actual portion size, color, and plating of what comes out of the kitchen. Ordering food in a country where you don't speak the language is genuinely stressful, and these displays remove that problem completely. You find something that looks good, take a photo or remember what it looks like, and point at it. 0 words required. The replicas have to be accurate because inaccurate ones create disappointed customers, so there's a built-in incentive to keep them honest. A photo menu can lie with lighting. These can't. Number 8. Coin lockers at train stations. Japanese train stations have coin lockers in sizes that run from just big enough for a laptop bag all the way up to full rolling suitcase territory. And they're scattered across main halls, near exits, and sometimes across multiple floors of a single station. The problem they solve is simple. Carrying luggage through a city cuts your options in half. You can't browse a narrow shop with a suitcase, and you can't move quickly through a crowded market with a backpack eating up the space behind you. So you drop your bags, pay for the size you actually need, and the station holds everything while you move freely for the rest of the day. Number 9. Vending machines with hot and cold drinks. Japanese vending machines sell hot drinks, not just room temperature ones. Genuinely hot canned coffee and tea dispensed the exact same way a cold drink comes out. Available at any hour, on train platforms, in parking lots, on mountain trails, in office hallways. The machine runs 2 temperature zones at once, and the buttons are color-coded. Red for hot, blue for cold. You tap your card, and a hot can drops in about 3 seconds. No barista, no wait, no minimum purchase. Japan has roughly 1 vending machine for every 23 people, the highest density in the world. So in most urban areas, you're never more than a few minutes from one. Number 10. Convenience stores that handle bill payments and services. Japanese convenience stores let you pay your utility bills, your taxes, your insurance premiums, your parking tickets, and your concert tickets, all at a single register or at a terminal inside the store. In most countries, those are separate trips to separate offices with separate hours. Japan skipped that entirely because the convenience stores were already everywhere, already open 24 hours, and already handling cash. So government agencies and private companies just plugged into that network. The in-store terminals, Loppy at Lawson and Famiport at Family Mart, generate a code, you take it to the register, pay, and you're done. No appointment, no office hours, no half-day of work burned on an errand. Number 11. Public restroom privacy sound machines. Japanese public restrooms, particularly in women's facilities, have a button on the wall that plays the sound of flushing water. Not to flush anything, just to make noise while you're using the toilet. Before this existed, people flushed repeatedly during a visit just to cover the sound, and water authorities noticed how much water that was burning through every single day across millions of restrooms. So instead of asking people to stop, designers built a device that produces the same masking sound without using any water at all. That's the whole trick. It doesn't change what people want. It just gives them a cheaper way to get it. Number 12, Suica and Pasmo IC cards for transit and purchases. Suica and Pasmo are rechargeable cards that work as your train pass, your bus ticket, your vending machine wallet, your convenience store payment, and your locker key, all in one tap. The transit side alone removes a lot of friction. You tap in when you enter a station, tap out when you leave, and the card calculates the exact fare automatically. No ticket machine, no fumbling for the right coins, no fare zone math. The same tap that gets you through the gate pays for your coffee 10 minutes later. No PIN, no signature, just a beep, and you're moving. The card started as a transit tool and quietly absorbed most of daily commerce around it. Number 13. Clearly labeled trash sorting systems. Japan has very few public trash cans, and its cities are consistently among the cleanest in the world, which sounds like those two facts shouldn't coexist. What replaced the bins is a sorting system with real teeth. Trash gets divided into categories: burnable, non-burnable, plastic, glass, cans, cardboard, each with a designated pickup day and a specific collection point. Bags left in the wrong category get tagged and sometimes returned to the household that left them. Your neighbors know if you're sorting correctly, And that local pressure works in a way that anonymous finds don't. Convenience stores and vending machines have their own sorted bins for the packaging they sell. So the most common sources of on-the-go waste have a disposal point built right into where you bought the thing. Every item on this list solves the same basic problem. How do you get hundreds of strangers to behave well in a shared space without posting a sign, hiring someone to watch them, or asking anyone to try harder? You build the right behavior into the physical object. The toilet handles hygiene automatically. The floor markings handle boarding automatically. The coin tray removes the handoff entirely. Nobody's being asked to be more considerate. The considerate option just happens to be the only option available. Most shared spaces outside Japan still rely on signs and social pressure to close that gap, and you can see exactly how well that's working. That's all for today. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more content like this.